Hello, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen. Today's story is another incomplete fanfic, but like the last one, this was updated back in 2010. Seeing 2012 is almost done. I highly doubt they're going to be updating this anytime soon, so I have no choice but to read it. Let's hope this one's not as painful as the last one. Well, today's fanfic that's a really good sign. Anyway, the fanfic is called The Fullmetal Alchemist, which is a Fullmetal Alchemist's fanfic. The author is the Catalyst of Death. That's really the author. The Catalyst of Death. I guess the Catalyst of Death must have gotten bored without killing people, so now they decide to write fanfics. I wonder if Death himself writes any fanfics. Probably. I'll have to look him up later. Okay, let's read the author's note before we get on with this. This happens after the last episode of FMA, so make sure you at least see the last one. Oops, I didn't see the last one. Future Lemon's Eddie, when Ed meets a man claiming to be an alchemist, don't you mean an alchemist, sent to get him from London. You didn't capitalize the L on London. Watch as they figure out the man's history and maybe some romance. Yeah, guys, take a look at this wonderful grammar. Another promising sign that this fanfic is going to be great. Okay, this story is rated Fiction M. Of course it's fiction. Fanfiction.net is not supposed to post non-fiction stuff. So why do they have to put down Fiction M? I don't know. The new setup for fanfiction.net is just stupid. Just say rated M. It's in English. It's adventure mystery. It's Edward E. and Winry R. It has 2 chapters and is over 2,000 words and has 1 review. Well, it's not going to be as long as the last fanfic, but then again, I didn't read the entirety of that fanfic because it was just so stupid. So, let's get started. This happens after the last episode of FMA. I hope you like it. Happy face. Hey, Kata. What, Ed? Why does Winry hug me? Sigh. Really? You're going to have the word sigh? Well, at least I don't have it in parentheses. Doesn't anyone read the preview? It says Future Lemons and Edward E. and Winry R. Wait, that means start the story now. So that entire thing right there wasn't even part of the story. Some people think they're funny when they do that at the beginning of the story, but most people like me think it's really annoying. Now let's read the actual story. Well, Ed, do you want to see Alphonse? And why is that underlined? I just don't understand why it's underlined. Also, they're missing the period at the end. Let's continue. Those were the words of a man called X, or that was his nickname. All you have to do is come with me, he said. How do you know that you're just an assassin? I returned. You know, having some actual punctuation marks would be very helpful while reading this story, wouldn't it? Look, and he showed me a medallion, I gasped. He showed you a medallion, I gasped? What an odd object. Don't you mean he showed me a medallion, period, and then it says I gasped? That would make more sense. It was a state alchemist medallion, which meant, all right, I'll go with you. Wise chose. Don't you mean wise choice? And why are the lines of dialogue all together in 1 paragraph? There's this thing on your board, and it's called an enter key. You can use it to break up your dialogue. Use the key It's not really hard. Stop being a lazy, idiotic retard. It makes it hard to read the sentences when they're together. So use the enter key to make us all pleased. Let's continue. Come, we have a long trip to Resin Bowl, and I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Wait, that's in America, I guess, but that's hundreds of miles away. You may have a point. That's why I have this. It was a button, he pressed it. And where did this button come from? 7 hour... I mean, first of all, use the word 7. Secondly, use the word hour. And if you're going to use the abbreviation, don't have it merged with the 7. 7 hours later, a huge thing with a propeller on the top instead of the front slash nose. Well, let's go. So I got in. That made absolutely no sense. 7 more hours later, I ended up in a small house. Hey, I said, what happened to the colonel? Who, Roy? He got promoted and got married. Who's the poor girl that's his wife? Ray's a Hawkeye. Well, I kind of figured they would. And with that, he chuckled. We walked to an elevator in the middle. Okay, so 492. He told himself. Himself is one word, not two. Well, technically it's 2 words. But there is a word called himself, which is 1 word. Use that instead, because it doesn't look sloppy when you use that word. And a little pad appeared out of the side of the wall. Beep, deep, beep. The doors opened and we walked in. 5 floors later, ding! Why is that all italicized? What's the point? Why is it italicized? Why not have it in bold or something? And whatever, let's continue. Whoa, I gasped amazed. It was rows of vehicles like the one that brought me here. There was a black one, an orange, and white one, and there were planes? Don't you mean were planes? That don't have propellers. They had engines that looked like the ones the AI from this world was working on. Well, hop on, he said as he got into a sleek gray one. I got into a seat and put on a helmet and air mask. Hello, this is your pilot speaking. I heard X's voice through my helmet. We will be traveling through the parallel universe paradox. If you feel like your face... Don't you mean if you feel like your face is going to come off your face, that is normal. So your face is going to come off your face. So is he implying that there's a face underneath the face of a face of a face? So I have another face underneath my face, and underneath that face there's another face, and underneath that face is a face? I guess so. ETA, or estimated time of arrival, is 5 minutes. This is X and enjoy your flight. Phew! The engine roared to life. Let's go! Oh, what a glaringly ugly typo right there. It's supposed to be an apostrophe, not a quotation mark. A huge blast of force wiped itself, again, itself should be 1 word, not 2, across my face. The space around the plane was colorful and stretched like it was a very colorful t-shirt. Like a hippie man. Okay, then it would be called a tie-dye shirt, you fucking idiot. 2 minutes passed. Then a hole appeared and we flew into it. I blacked out. It was so much force that I felt my skin burning. When I woke up, we were in a town, Green Hills train station, and a site that looked like it once was on fire. Passenger, welcome to Resemble. I gasped, I can't believe it. I was back. Ree, 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 ree. A red light blazed into the 2 cockpits. What the fuck is that? You know how I get annoyed when people leave random author's notes inside of the fanfics? I get even more annoyed when they put stupid little emoticon faces inside of the fanfic that don't need to be there! Don't do it! You don't see that stuff in professional literature, so don't do it in fanfics! I think we may need to land. And he was right because we were losing alt. We were losing alt. We were losing alt. Don't you mean we were losing altitude? And fast. He deployed the wheels. We found the dirt road that leads to the rock bells. Arr! The sound of landing was just deafening. Hiss! The engines were fried. Smoke raised from the engines. X got out of his seat and climbed out of the jet. Well, that's great, man. This gonna take I guess he's supposed to have an accent. This is gonna take months for this thing to work again. Well, Ed, you can go. I'll catch up. God damn it. He slapped the nose of the jet and didn't even react like it hurt. I got out and ran to the rock bells. Granny was smoking in the front. Same old Granny. Whoa, whatever. Yo, Granny, I yelled. She looked over, then looked surprised. Ha! Well, I'll be damned. Welcome back, Runt. Oh yeah, same old Granny. What's with the stupid words in the parentheses? We don't care. Stop doing it! Hey, well, for your info, I got taller, I yelled back. Granny, who are you yelling at? I heard a voice that I remembered. She walked out. She stood frozen and stared at me. Ed, I heard Ray say softly, Ed! She ran towards me. I thought she was gonna hit me with a hammer, but instead, wham, she hugged me with full embrace. I missed you a lot, she said with a breaking voice. I didn't know what to do, so I let the hug go on for a while longer to let it soak in. She looked at my arm and leg that were too automail, but now were, don't you mean real-looking limbs. Let's get you into some automail. She grabbed my hand and dragged me to the store. Well, you did get taller. So you happy now? Yes, I am. Thank you for bringing Ed back. Okay, Rinry, now blow me. What? That was the deal. I bring Ed, you blow me. Okay, fine. Score. Send reviews. Okay, ready, start blowing. What the? Is that supposed to be like the author's note or something? Let's just read the next chapter. Oh, isn't this adorable? Take a look at how they labeled their chapters, folks. Chap 1 with a little happy face. Let's move on to chapter 2 with a happy face. School sucks! And it's hard to enjoy my art or hunt. That's not how you spell hunts. Get rid of the E. You down. I still can't believe Ray did that to you, Ed. Well, believe it, Ed. She blew me before she did you. Me. Hey, I did it for you, Ed Rinry. You got some cum on your mouth, me. Ah, shit, Rinry. You are one fucked up person. Let's continue to read. Wow, you did get taller. Granny said, looking at the measuring stick. I was as tall as Rinry, but taller by 4 inches. Well, I guess you're gonna Well, I guess you're gonna need to extend your automail to match your size. Rinry said, okay, 1, 2, 3. Ow, I yelled in pain. Honestly, I think you just put me in pain. I heard Rinry giggle a little. What was with her, I thought. Oh, and Ed, I've watched to where... I wanted to know where is X. Yeah, I forgot to introduce them. Wouldn't they not know who X was? Oh, whatever. He's outside on the roof. Outside is 1 word, not 2! I said, moving my arm. How? Rinry asked. I shrugged my shoulders. Outside, in X's point of view... So it switched okay. I guess we're supposed to be X now. I sat on the roof. The cigarette clung on the side of my mouth. I puffed out a small cloud of smoke. I was thinking on how Sarah is doing. She was in Central waiting for me to come back. I got off the roof. The cigarette was still on my mouth. Don't you mean in your mouth? I opened the door and went to see Ed. Hey Ed, I gotta go to Central, so get your jacket on. I'll get us a ride. And I walked out. Back to Ed. Okay, that was completely and utterly pointless. You guys are leaving already? Rinri groaned. She really seems different. Well, if X lets you can come. So if X lets you can come, don't you mean? Well, how about word it like this? Well, if it's okay with X, you can come along too. That would make more sense. I said, trying to reassure her. Sure she can come, Alex said. Who the fuck is Alex? Is Alex supposed to be X? Clarification would be nice. I never noticed he was sitting on the window. The next day, this story seems to jump all over the place now, doesn't it? It was the afternoon, and the car that Alex said would pick us up wasn't here yet. A couple hours later... Pointless sentence is pointless! Beep, beep. Something was coming and sounded like a tornado. Oh yes, 'cause tornadoes honk! Like cars! Idiot! Then a black dot was driving down the road. It got bigger and bigger until it was a black car driving up the road. No, I thought it was going to be an elephant driving up the road. The logo on the front said Hummer 2. Ooh, Hummer 2, how badass. It was dark out, but the lights blazed. Of course the lights are going to blaze. If it's black out, you're going to have your lights on so you can actually see. Because if you don't have your lights on, you would crash into a tree! It parked on the road, and the driver got out. Well, are you getting in or not? The driver asked. It was X. So, Alex isn't X? Whatever. Let's keep on reading. Shotgun! Rinri yelled as she planted herself on the front seat. Hey, no fair, I yelled back and sat in the back seat. Want something to drink? X asked. Yes, a cup of water, please, Rinri said, and a little cup pulled out of a cabinet and a small fountain came out. Then water poured into the cup. Rinri drank some and set it down. You, Ed? X asked me. I shook my head. As we got to the ledge, X stopped the truck. So I guess they were supposed to be driving this entire time? Well, that's great. Stay in the truck. I'll be right back. He got out of the door and went to the cliff ledge. He clapped his hands, getting ready to transmute. But when he did it, he didn't use a transcommunication cycle. Did he do it? I thought. But I didn't have time to think because something is one word, not two, was coming close, and it was fast, and there was a lot of them. Hey, X, we got company, I yelled. X ran to the side that Rinri was sitting, pressed a button, and the entire truck lighted up. Don't you mean lit up? No, light up. A small table appeared in the middle and was a steel case. It said in bold white letters, weapon stash, click, click. The case opened, and in the middle were where, don't you mean were? 2 silver guns and 1 steel. He grabbed all 3. The first 2 he glocked them and put them in holsters while the big one was strapped on his back. Don't move and hide now! How can you hide if you don't move? What are you gonna do? Like blend into the background like a chameleon? Let's see if I can do that. Can you see me? Can you guys see me? You can, can't you? See, you can't do that. I I hid behind a seat, and so did Rinri. I looked out the window. I saw X walking to the people in the cars. Where did these people come from? And then it happened. So It from Stephen King came out of nowhere so fast. Rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat-tat-tat, bam, 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 boom! Then X came back and he drove fast. When I look back, there was bodies, body parts, and flaming car parts on the bridge. X pulled a little button and pressed it. Exclamation point. This explosion was so big and loud, don't you mean loud? I felt the explosion from the truck. Well, duh. When I looked back, a mushroom cloud had replaced the fire. X, who were those people? Rinri asked. When he looked at us, he had dread on his eyes. What's with the apostrophe S? You see, your eyes don't really own anything, so get rid of the apostrophe S. They are an advanced group of people called the Black Ops Division. They have someone held hostage. That's why we're going to Central, for the hostage exchange. Well, wouldn't the hostage exchange kind of go downhill, seeing you just murdered a whole bunch of them and they might not even bother giving you the hostage, seeing you didn't even bother negotiating with them? What did they ask? I asked. Something I can't tell you and their boss. What? Wait, you said Black Ops, right? Aren't they part of the military? Not really. They're freelancers. That's the wrong there. It should be T-H-E-Y''R-E, not T-H-E-I-R. Grammar 101. Spelling 101. All this can be found in grade school! I'm so pissed that I lost my place. Where the fuck is it? Okay, not really. They're freelancers. Work for the highest bidder. 10 hours later. X, can I sleep now? Brittany said, rubbing her eyes. Sure, sleep in the back. Ed gets in the front with me. Well, actually, Ed, can you stay there with me? My cheeks started to blush. How about just say your cheeks started to turn red, or say I started to blush? Sure, I guess. She got into the back seat with me and laid her head on my lap. 20 minutes later, she was sound asleep. You know she missed you. I know she did. No, I mean she really missed you. When you went missing, she never stopped crying. She even almost committed suicide because she thought that she would end up with you in London. And if that is what missing someone is, then loving/missing them is just like hell. And to her, without you, it's like her version of hell. I never thought of it like that. Well, the truth is I love her too. I have to admit she was always around when I needed her. But when she needed me, I was never there. She only wanted me to be with her and to make me hers. By the way, how did you get your state alchemist license anyway? There was no response. So for that long drive, it was silence until vroom, the back of our truck blew up. I found myself is one word. On the back window of the truck, Rinri was on top of me. Her eyes shot open and examined the crash. X was missing and 3 more trucks circled ours. They stopped and armed men surrounded ours. Don't move, we're taking anyone hostage, a man yelled. We were brought to a truck and put bags over our heads. All we heard were the men, wow, for once they actually used the word word, not the word where. We're talking in the trucks bumping on the rocky terrain. Then, the truck stopped dead. Then, crash! Fish! Something opened the doors and dragged us outside. The person lifted the bag off my head. Sorry I took so long, X said. Freeze! Don't move or we'll shoot. I was about to clap, but X stopped me. I got these guys. He walked up and stood there in front of them. So, you Black Ops? Yes, the leader said. So I'm guessing you've heard of me. I don't know who you are yet. Why don't you tell me? Okay, why have the question mark? I'd say I don't know who you are yet. Period. Why don't you tell me? It would be easier for the MPS when they find your body. Well, if you must know, Alex So is X actually Alex? I'm so confused. This story is just so fucking confusing. Maybe it'd be less confusing if I knew about Fullmetal Alchemist, but I think even then it would still be confusing because this person is just all over the place. This is not how you write fanfics, people. You need to be clear with your writing. You need to make things match up. You can't just jump all over the place. It's confusing! Alex took off his jacket. I gasped at the sight. Both his arms were gone and replaced with automail. I am Alan Xavier, also known as the Paradox/Time Alchemist. You gave me automail, Alan. Relax, Alan. At least I gave you a cool name. Me. I'm gonna kill you, Alan. Not if I kill you first in the story. In singy voice me. You wouldn't, and you're a terrible singer, Alan. Well, what you gonna do, me? Send reviews. Okay, I'll send you a review. My name is obviously FanFic Critic, so let's put that in. Da 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 da. You want to know what my review is? Okay, just let me sign it. Da 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 da. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's type in that's it. Da, da, da. Oh, and now they have to have you put in the stupid code because they think everyone's a fucking spam bot. I don't know why, but whatever. Oh, geez, the last time I did this was back in the old days of FanFic Critic. Okay, here's my review. Here's my review. This story is a steaming pile of shit. There's my review. Forgive me for being harsh, but that was a jumbled mess. Somewhere deep inside the story, it had the potential of being a good story. But you would have to majorly fix it up in order for it to be that. And I'm a little confused. Is Alan supposed to be an original character that you slapped in there along with yourself? Or are these actual people? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the story was just bad. It really was. I'm sorry, but it was. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen. Yeah. Anything interesting out there? The rabbit was out there again. Huh. I was wondering what happened to that guy. I think he kind of lives in the neighbor's yard, and he'll just come into our yard every now and then. I could hear you reviewing your fanfic. Sounded like it got you a bit flustered. Susan, when do I not get riled up when reading a bad fanfic? Well, it seemed to really make you angry by the sounds of it. Well, it was kind of bad, you know? I mean, I don't get why you're acting so shocked that I'm getting all about it, but don't worry about it. I'm done with the review. Well, I just get a little worried when I hear you getting that flustered with a fanfic, because whenever you get that angry, you tend to get suicidal tendencies. So, I haven't tried to commit suicide in a while. You don't need to worry. Well, it's not like you're always suicidal. You'll go months on end without trying to commit suicide, and then the next thing you know, you have that razor up to your neck. I can assure you, I'm not thinking any thoughts like that. Well, you better be right. Because I can assure you, sweetie, if I find out that you've tried to kill yourself, there'll be hell to pay with me, and it will not be pretty. Is that supposed to be a threat? Take it any way you want to see it, dear.